So let's get it, bro.
Yeah, for
Let's
real.
get
Let's
started.
get it.
Come on.
Another day, another dollar.
No mames.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay, no, but for real.
So what do you want to talk about? Like, you want to get started with?
Well, I don't know. Like, you were the one that was supposed to. Okay. I'm sorry. So we had the topic already like listed. Sorry. Basically, you want to talk about Marvel and DC shit, right? Like, in terms of like the movies right now. Basically, what's happening with like Phase 6, Phase 5 of Marvel.
I don't really want to talk about that because I don't know anything about it. If you want, you could explain.
Okay,
to me.
no. You tell me because you want to know.
I want to talk about how there's nowhere they could go without making it exciting. I feel like they should mix it in with other universes.
But why do you? Okay, excuse me. Sorry. Like, cause again, you're just starting out of nowhere. Let's reel it back in.
Okay.
And let's just go back from the beginning. Okay, again, like I said. So like, what are we gonna talk about? And essentially, I want to talk about Marvel and DC movies. And basically, you think that they don't have any room to grow. At least as far as DC is going, like basically they restarted the universe how many times? Like 3 times already. Basically.
I don't know. But Marvel they did more. You could say it started with Spider-Man, then Fantastic Four multiple times, X-Men twice,
and the Punisher series, and then also Blade.
Exactly.
Okay, continue.
And then isn't technically Ghost Rider replaced too because of? Or no,
yeah, he got replaced too in the show.
Same
not the same.
Replaced?
It's supposedly.
Is it the same
I'm
universe?
pretty sure Johnny Blaze himself, like gave him powers. Like what's his name, Robbie Reyes.
No,
but I'm not
so
sure.
he was from that universe. So?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's maybe he's not replaced.
Regardless. So you think they have no room to grow? Why?
I just don't see it, bro. For some reason I see
like potential, but you don't see any
for some reason I see more potential in the boys right now.
No, it's just like they have like
bro.
Okay, the difference between that. Excuse me, I don't want to take your, but like what you mean by that, I feel like what you're trying to say is that like they have all this potential. They want to do all these movies, all these shows, but the fact that you know how cookie cutter they're already gonna be like is not fun anymore. And you like to have a little bit of excitement. Like the boys like leaves you your jaw dropped by the end of the episode, feeling like, what the fuck did I just watch? This is just some new crap that I wasn't ready for. Or am I wrong?
No, yeah, and I feel like Marvel just hasn't been dropping. They drop good movies. Don't get me no doubt about it. But recently with the shows and everything, I just feel like they haven't been as good. I just feel like the only one that I feel like was really really great was fucking Loki. That's the only one out of all the other shows. Maybe Moon Knight was semi good, but all the other ones were like just like bland. I feel like they weren't bad, they weren't good. And then some of them were just really bad.
Yeah.
I feel like they could do so much more if they bring fresh ideas.
Yeah, like currently, like at least what we're looking at for Phase 5, like we already did Quantumania. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is good. Loki Season 2 is coming out.
Guardians of the Galaxy I felt like
it was a good end to the 3. It's for like the 3 movie.
I felt like it was a good movie, yes, but I feel like it needed one of the characters to die. I don't know why.
I do feel like that too, but at the same time, I was glad with the ending. I was glad with nobody dying.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, I know.
Okay, spoiler alert. To be fair,
yeah.
We're discussing what we would like to happen in the MCU and DCEU.
No.
DCEU. That's kind of weird, right? That they called it DCEU, kind of like to mimic MCU. Anyways, continue. So, like,
I'm really excited for Deadpool. That's the only thing I'm kind of excited for.
Crazy.
They just started filming.
That's like again Phase 6, bro. I'm just trying to give you an idea. This is what's going on, and I'm gonna even show it to you on my phone. Loki, Blade, Agatha the TV show, fucking Daredevil, Ironheart, like the girl that was Riri Williams, like from Wakanda, the Marvels movie, and Echo, the the girl that was deaf.
I feel like if these
and honestly, no, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but like honestly, like only a handful of those even sound good. The rest of it just sounds like a waste. Like they could easily be tossed in with other movies or other, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah. Oh man, it just sucks. I feel like
the best the best characters like fucking Namor, you can't even use them.
No, I also feel like the biggest problem right now is because other companies want to compete with each other instead of like, oh, let's make money together.
Yeah.
Like they're it's just these big companies trying to like.
No, no,
I
yeah,
want
create
the
their
mo-
own universes. It's that
No,
big.
but if they just have any fucking, you know,
Okay,
like
that's where you gotta
any
explain yourself. Sorry.
any
Now,
idea that
now,
like
where
we
did you?
can make way more money if we work together, if we mix our characters up, and we split the money 50-50.
Okay,
If it fails, it fails. You guys have failing movies as it is, you know.
yeah, but explain. Why do you think this would be a good idea to implement? You know, like, oh, and even then, how would you implement it? Excuse me. Why do you think it's
Like
a good idea
like back when it happened in the comic
to
books.
implement DC and Marvel? And
Back when it happened in the comic books, they
like
had they had them
Amalgam
fighting.
Comics. They had Amalgam Comics for a
Yeah.
good while.
They had them fighting against each other, and they had them mix the characters in between you, like
Yeah, having Dark Claw, Wolverine, and Batman mix up. Having like Joker and like what's his name,
yes, oh my God, yes,
Superboy and Spider Man.
yeah,
But you're
exactly.
random characters.
Yeah, it was so fucking amazing. They could do that, and people would be like, "The fuck? Let's
Yeah.
go watch it." And then all the fucking nerds and shit,
Yeah,
let's go watch it. No, no, like everything about our like the culture of like nerd shit, like not to be fucked up, but
like geek stuff.
shit and all that stuff that like it's really good. And then people that when they watch it on the movies, they're like, "Oh my fucking God, look!" That's where they all the other people learn about it. Most of the people didn't know about Marvel characters and all that shit until all the Marvel movies came out. They were so good that they got people into comic books, more video games. That's why that's what's selling right now. I feel like the fucking companies are just dumb right now. They could combine,
Yeah, okay,
work together.
so your perspective
no.
is that like if you somehow like include them in like also you know how like basically there's a whole demographic of older people that are basically all like okay Marvel and DC are the same thing, they're the same company, or basically like
mean
along the
mom?
lines of our moms, some old geezers out there, some grand.
What the fuck, bro?
Hey.
Damn, you said it like
Hey, come
that.
on.
Old
Just-
geezers. No.
Bro, the uncultured just gotta call them on their shit, bro. Anyways, okay, so okay, so essentially, I mean, I'm just saying, wouldn't it be like a helpful guideline to be like, okay, essentially, this is the difference between either universe. It isn't the same thing, and on top of that, they already have that currently going for themselves. Flash with the multiverse, like going with Batman and all that shit from 1980, whatever. My favorite, Michael Keaton, and like Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, that's happening, and easily could be translated to like live action. So like, what do you think? Like easily. And
Wait, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention
okay,
to
sorry,
you.
sorry. What I was just saying along the lines is that it's crazy how like that like so many like films are like based on their certain like companies. Sony trying to market off Spider-Man, but not try to capitalize on okay, I'm gonna make it live action. Try to mix it up. Maybe okay, go with the Avengers, or on top of that, expand it to maybe another company. DC, like how you said.
Yeah, and if they do this kind of stuff, like they decide to work together, characters could be developed, like
And more and well understood between the companies and whatnot.
Yeah, and they could create characters in the gray, where they could be in between Marvel and DC at all time. I feel like that shit could happen.
Oh yeah, like have like their own like new characters.
Yeah, like 'cause
There's nothing wrong with sharing properties.
I'm just saying, Miles Morales with Static Shock would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, would be at least having an interesting tale, because like
No,
Miles Morales
because
with his
instead of
electric-
Miles Morales shooting webs and flying around, he creates a little disc out of webbing and flies around with it.
or at least something similar.
No, that'd be so fucking amazing, bro. Yeah. No, and then bro, like
There's just so many
I
stories. that
like
could be
more
told.
Latino characters would be popping. I feel like
Well,
with
you
that.
mean like Beetle and like other characters, could like
Yeah, no, like
more
imagine, Iron Beetle.
Iron Beetle. Oh, you mean like Iron Man and Beetle?
Like
Like, I feel like that would be too
the
OP.
guy that gets the beetle was super smart, like Tony Stark, and he developed shit with the beetle shit. Oh my,
Yeah,
more shit like that. Like I told you, I wanted Daredevil and Batman to be mixed, and the ultimate Batman.
From-
He actually uses actual
From my
echolocation and shit
perspective,
like
I
that.
would like to have. Excuse me. From my perspective, if there was to be a crossover, I wouldn't like to have like something like that where they permanently mix. I would like something like, okay, what if Batman met Spider-Man and they ended up like trying to do like a similar detective story, like just singular stuff like
no,
that.
no.
Like,
But
like
what I'm
sorry.
trying to get as, I'm
There's
sorry.
a lot of storytelling.
They could do so much with it.
So much with like them coming together.
Mhm.
And I'm just I'm just
My
saying, like, my perspective on this is that, yeah, clearly they could do that. Comics have shown that by far. But all I'm saying is, if Marvel and DC are so like scared, or not scared, but like more like budget monitoring, like caring about how they're gonna spend their money, and if this is a risk, then easily just bank shot off of the main strong characters. Spider-Man, Batman are easily one of the most marketable characters and are well known. So just put them together in a film, and you tell me that's not gonna make a couple million.
No, yeah,
or
for sure.
Superman and like Thor, for example. That would be crazy.
No, yeah, no, it's happened already in the comic where
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Superman picks up Thor's hammer. It's fucking amazing.
That would be crazy to see. Yes.
Yeah. Also, what would be, they could make like, or they already did this with one character. I feel like they could do it multiple. Falcon and Captain America. He became Captain America, and he's kind of
He
both.
took up the mantle or whatever.
No, that's pretty great. I feel like they could do that with more characters. Imagine it was called Punisher. We got the contract from Ghost Rider.
Or Red. Oh, you mean like? Oh yeah.
That would be so much
You mean
badass.
how he became like Ghost Rider, like Infinity, like with the Infinity Stones or whatever, ended up killing Baby Thanos or whatever.
No. Like, if Punisher got the contract for Ghost Rider, how much more badass he would be as the Punisher. Like, he would actually go out for vengeance.
That's what ended up. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. That's what ended up happening in the comic books.
Oh shit!
Like an old man version of him. Basically, like Thanos ended up destroying the whole world, and he ended up dying. So basically, he ended up meeting Mephisto, the devil himself. And
Punisher?
basically, yeah, and ended up making a deal where he became the Ghost Rider. And basically, he at the end of the day went to Galactus, like the guy with infinite power, a planet eater,
No, yeah.
and told him, like, basically give me the power so I could go back in time, like Silver Surfer's power. He didn't want to give it to him. He killed him for the power. Went back in time, tried to kill baby Thanos and do the penance stare and everything. But like he couldn't, because the baby was innocent at that time. Yeah. Basically, by the end of the story, what he did was give baby Thanos the idea to kill. Because he took him on adventures trying to change him. But so inadvertently made him a killer.
Okay.
Which was crazy.
Yeah. No, but like
stuff like that would be awesome.
They would be. I just feel like they don't have the right people. I feel like they have too many old people on like making the movies.
Well, not too many old people. I'm just saying like narrow-minded. I'm just saying like stuff from What If series, like the thing that they did with T'Challa being Star-Lord, that was amazing. Having a full film of that, like, I'm just saying, like, you don't have to make it like Marvel. Just say it's, or you know what I'm saying, like, make it Marvel. But I'm just saying Marvel, like across the multiverse.
I'm just saying, if maybe they had a little more youth in every company, they would be like, yeah, let's work with them.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I might be wrong. Maybe there are all young people in all those companies. But if that's the case, what the fuck is wrong with them? Like, they could communicate.
Can I tell you something, for example? Okay, like, what I'm just saying, like, okay, James Gunn
with the enemy, but still, it's money.
Okay, James Gunn.
Money.
Like, I'm just saying, James Gunn is setting up, in at least the DCEU, he's basically setting up Gods and Monsters Phase 1. Basically, a whole setup where they're gonna bring Swamp Thing, the Green Lantern Corps, but basically individual stories about the characters, and also split up the Batman universe. The one that the guy from Twilight's in. Basically, they're separating that, and basically they even know that, like, okay, that's worth like banking on, but we're gonna separate it and continue on like making like cohesive stories, but with different characters. They're gonna make a Batman and Robin movie, for example. Perfect. They're gonna make a Superman movie, Superman Legacy movie. Amazing. But I'm just saying, like they're even doing like weirder stuff with like a team of superheroes or super villains, I guess, basically like a Suicide Squad predecessor. And it's all interesting and stuff, but like they have so much room to go. Did you hear that like the dude that's gonna like that was Soldier Boy or whatever, like ended up like is being considered to be Batman?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like then we watched the
what?
movie. We watched the movie earlier. Like basically, that's the voice actor, like the one with Supergirl, like the cartoon animated one, the new one that just came out. Like Batman voice acted him. So yeah, like
that's not Soldier Boy. You thought you said it was the guy from Mr.
Yeah, Soldier Boy.
Oh, it was Soldier Boy. I thought you said it was Homelander.
No, Homelander. No, Soldier Boy.
Oh, okay.
That's the guy that voiced him.
Okay, so that's cool. Damn, I didn't know that.
I
Huh?
don't know, but like, okay, for example, if you were to see him, like, you feel like him as a youthful guy, I feel like he's in his 30s, 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, he's got like room to grow. And if you're telling me like in a couple, like, if you watch him from like, okay, I'm gonna watch this Batman and Robin movie, maybe this Superman crossover, right? And slowly develop, like, okay, like, characters like Scarecrow again, maybe Clayface, Mr. Freeze, maybe with Superman, like
Yo, I would
Metallo,
want to see the three Jokers, bro.
the three Jokers, like, etc. Like, there's so much room for character growth. And before we set up all this Marvel and DC crossover mix, develop the DC characters enough so when they meet the Marvel characters, you're more like invested. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Because that's the issue. What I feel like with DC is they haven't given you enough time to invest in the characters. I don't feel as invested in the new Batman, like, and what's it called, Ben Affleck's Batman, as I do for Michael Keaton, because like, even though he was in like 2 films and technically Ben Affleck has been in more, I feel like um Michael Keaton's Batman, in my opinion, got more fleshed out. What do you think? Sorry, excuse me.
No, you're good. You're good. Uh, just cracking my neck, bro. So no, yeah, my favorite Batman was what was the one from instead
Twilight?
the Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah, Christian
With
Bale.
Joker, yeah. He was a favorite one. I just hated that he was so fucking slow. Like
He was realistic.
no, it wasn't. No, he was even like you
So,
see people fighting with heavy duty armor, like soldiers and shit like that. They're wearing fucking
padding and
padding and shit too. They move faster than that, bro. Like fucking people with riot gear and shit like that.
yeah, you're totally right.
I just feel like they made him look dumb. I don't know why. I just feel like they did something. It was the camera work or something. But besides that, I hated the voice. But he was the most accurate Batman. Like as in Bruce Wayne. I feel like in other Batmans we have never seen Bruce Wayne. Like on his like he
You mean like
played
being like the rich
the
eccentric guy?
playboy.
Yeah.
He got everyone thinking he was
An asshole.
an asshole. Yeah, straight up. Like no one believed that this motherfucker was Batman. You know.
Yeah, by the end of it, it was just
And nobody ever saw him. The only times he saw him, he made a fucking scene, and he made it good. You know?
No, yeah. Like, even Ra's al Ghul told him, "I'm gonna kill everybody. Try to make it, look natural. I bet you can't."
And
he
he
was all like,
fucking did.
You guys are phonies. All
you guys
yeah.
want my money, this and that,
Yeah,
my free
he
shit.
called them out.
Get the fuck out of here, and this and that. It was fucking amazing, bro.
Yeah.
You can't deny that. And then the fucking gadgets he had were the best. I don't know if you could say on other movies, but they look so badass on his. The fucking tank that he was driving around. I wasn't gonna say tank, but it's a fucking tank, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and even then, like, I just gotta say this: Ben Affleck's Batman, like with his Batmobile, you always see it in the dark.
Yeah.
But at least with the other Batman, what's his name? Like Christian Bale, you gotta see it during the day. You gotta see like full, like round, images of it. You gotta see like the tank, and you gotta.
It went through the roofs, bro. Jumped through roofs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like
crazy.
impressive. Oh
You
my
felt
god,
like
bro.
you were in the Batmobile.
And then
for like,
the Bane movie, like Bane was small. Bane didn't have superpowers, but somehow they made him look fucking threatening.
menacing. Yeah.
He was like so scary. I was like, damn, and then the voice, I'm like, shit, Like I thought the voice was kind of funny, but he
It
made it
works.
work. Yeah, like, and then I don't know. I thought he was my favorite. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, during the whole time, I was just thinking, like, bro, they really fucked up Christian Bale with Gore, bro. Like, I'm just saying.
With who?
Gore. Like, Gore the God Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what sucks is that, like, he would be so fucking good. Just imagine if he came back in a multiverse, like, crossover, just wearing the suit. He doesn't have to do much. Just come back, be like, I'm Batman. And everybody go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, like, all these actors have, like, so much, potential. And, like, you don't even, just for, like, the story, it would be interesting and entertaining just to rewatch him again. And maybe he would be open to the idea again, too.
No, yeah.
And you have anything to add to that? Like, personally, like, if it were up to me, think about it. Like, if there was a, Marvel DC crossover, the fact that they already have a lot of sharing characters, like Christian Bale being Batman and, him being Gore, or, like, not gonna lie, I kind of forget them off the top of my head, but there's been a couple, no? That we've watched and we've been like, damn, they've been in DC shit. Like even at least the DC shows and
Still
shit.
talking about Batman?
Not Batman in general, but just characters in general. Like actors that you've seen like crossover from like DC shit, or at least stuff that used to be DC shit. Like maybe Constantine.
Bro,
Like
no,
he's
no,
been
no, no,
considered to
bro,
be
bro, bro. The whole cast
Ghost
of
Rider.
Gotham.
Oh yeah, the whole cast of Gotham.
Bro, I thought the Riddler was fucking amazing. The guy that played Riddler, he was fucking amazing. He had two personalities and shit. It was pretty impressive. And then their version of the Penguin, the skinny guy, I thought it was gonna be stupid, but it was fucking great. You know? I don't know. Did you watch Gotham?
No, I watched Cobblepot. Yeah, it was towards the end. I was kind of weirded out because like
No, like he was
was a
the type of guy that was just like I'm gonna fucking stay down. And then once he got to the fucking top, he was like, "Fuck you guys! You guys are gonna take me fucking down. And if you can take me down, I'm gonna die."
Like
You know, like I'm gonna go down swinging. I'm not gonna fucking let you take it.
He might have been evil or whatever, but like you know, a man had pure intentions when he's willing to eat human flesh for a kid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
like stuff like that. Like, I'm just saying, like, you could pick and choose individually characters from each fucking film, and they all got or show, and they all got their strong suits in individual ways.
Oh yeah, no, and then Gotham had a really dark turn when they took over Gotham back in the show. But besides that, it was a fucking amazing show.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I hated about it was that Bruce Wayne was into the stuff way too young. I feel like it ruined like the whole illusion of Batman.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been an issue if he was like a scientist or like slowly developed from school. But like the fact that he like straight up, like, okay, I'm gonna blow shit up from like,
he's like, he just got straight into it from like without any training or anything. Like he got a little training from Alfred, but besides that, I was like, what the fuck? Like that's not Batman. Batman became Batman from, yeah. It was like, I felt like Gotham could have stayed perfectly with just Bruce giving a little money here and there, and that's it, But
so what I'm getting from is like basically essentially. What you think would be also on top of most profitable, but it would also be the most enjoyable to see is again a young, fresh cast, like maybe like a young Enigma, maybe a young fucking Cobblepot.
What I feel like is the new Flash could have Grant Gustin. Why can't it could, but it's not. I don't think it's gonna happen.
But it would be amazing just to see.
Like if they just replace him at the end of the movie with Grant Gustin, that would be.
Of the Flash movie, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
No,
and then same thing with the new movies. They could shows that are so loved and ended at a good way, and they're like it's over.
And all that stuff.
Yeah. Somehow they could bring it on the big screen, but they just don't want to. The cast, you could see it. Some of them do want to, some of them don't. I understand. But, like, the people that do want to, bring them back, and people will fucking love it. If it already has a huge fan base, it's not that likely to fail unless you fuck it up, like you fuck up, like, the whole writing and shit. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but if you fucking believe in the shit, you're gonna fucking make it succeed.
You mean, okay, like, I get you. Like, basically, you know how comic book writers are. They start off with an idea, and they figure out the story afterwards. I'm not trying to be like, I know what a comic book writer's like. But all I'm just saying is some of the best stories come off from an idea, and you work from that.
Nothing nowadays is original. It's how you execute it with a different,
mindset.
Yeah.
A different idea.
A little changing most of the stories are just the same stories being retold in a little fucking modern way or
alteration.
It's nothing's that original, but they can make it work as long as they have a vision. They're like, fuck yeah, I want this to happen. It's still basic down to the bone, the same story, just slightly different. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I get it. But ultimately, what do you want to happen? Okay, basically, essentially, if what essentially is going down, they're already having, like, Marvel shows, Echo, Loki, all that stuff. They have Superman, Batman movie coming out, and a couple shows, Green Lantern show.
I want to come out. I want a live-action Static Shock movie or a new show. A new show would be fucking amazing. I want fucking, I'm sorry, I'm saying so many words. I just want like the good characters
character development
that you haven't seen in a while, and
characters that you want to associate.
And
with.
That they're gonna be popping. Everybody wants, like the new thing is bringing black people into like on screen. Okay, a perfect character. Mr. Static Shock.
Yeah,
He
Black
was a
Widow.
good original black character.
Hmm.
Instead of like change, like who else would be a good character that they don't fucking bring? You heard that they're trying to bring like Clark Kent, super black. They already have a black Superman.
Yeah.
Bring him. Like I never heard of those stories. Like I never read the comic books about him.
Yeah.
But it would be a great way to learn about it.
Yeah, there's a bunch
Like
of
it could
yeah.
be accurate about shit. I don't know.
No, I get where you're coming from. Basically, like you just like on top of and I get what you mean. On top of like having new films, you just want like original stories. You don't want the same thing retold.
Mhm.
Same thing with like the black Superman that's coming out. He's not just a black Superman. He's basically like
The same thing as Clark Kent. It's just
no, it's not the same thing.
Oh,
He ended up basically he was raised similarly, but ended up becoming the president. On top of that, of the multiverse, he ended up becoming like part of this galaxy. Like saving.
no. I'm talking about the one they're trying to make for the movie.
That's what it's based off of. He basically became a president because like certain. I didn't even read the comic too much, and I can't speak on it. But basically, he's way different, and at least if you guys like think to introduce those types of stories, just so we could introduce the character and flesh him out, just so I could understand him, just so as an audience we could understand him better. I bet you we won't even think of classic Superman. We'll think of that guy as Superman. Same way we think of Miles Morales as Spider-Man. We don't think of him as Miles Morales anymore. We think of him as Spider-Man. Same way as Spider-Man being Spider-Man too. Like we just separate the characters because they're different enough, just so we
Yeah.
like I don't know if you feel that way, like the exact same way that you pass down the mantle. I wouldn't mind like I don't know, like 2 Flashes, Wally West and
Mhm. And I also want to be really critical about
Barry.
how the fuck has like quality gone down so much for movies when the budgets are so much more. Like I don't get it, and then it takes so much longer to make them. When like you look at the CGI for the old movies like Spider-Man and shit like that. Yes, they look a little off here and there, but for back then that was fucking amazing technology, and they made it come out so much cheaper than nowadays and so much faster. Like I feel like people, I don't know if it's just or if it's just younger generations being lazier and don't wanna take shit from other people. But I feel like back in the old days, people would share shit and help out each other out. I don't know. I just don't know.
No, yeah. Back then, like they used to have like, well, at least the way that I remembered it, they even tried to set up a Wolverine and Spider-Man cameo, but the only difficulty was that they didn't have the costume. Stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like, wouldn't you like just silly stuff like that? Just because you're like right across from each other. Just imagine, okay, just a small cameo with Superman in it.
Mhm. Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I want to change the topic a little bit.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Did you hear about the AI generated live action cast of the Rick and Morty?
What?
So it would be Donnie Jr. for
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, for Rick, he would play Rick, and for Morty it would be Tom Holland. For the sister, it would be Emma Stone.
That's a weird one. Cause she older?
Eh?
Cause she older? I guess?
Yeah, no, and the red hair.
Oh.
And it was called fuck, I forgot.
Who would be the mom?
I forgot the name of the character. Fuck, I forgot the name of that show. No, but it was I know them three, and it was just AI generated. People like, oh, it looks so amazing.
Okay.
You think like shit like that? I feel like people just don't. They should start like instead of making movies like we just want to make money. They should ask the audience what we want to see.
Mind if I
Go.
go off of that? Like the same way that people are like Disney is exactly doing the opposite of we want. We're getting remakes that we don't need.
That we don't want.
Mermaid, for example, like has its place, I guess. But
I
like
heard it lost its charm with the fishes and the thing. They don't dance as much. They lost music
I'm
and
saying,
shit like that.
I'm
It
saying stuff
sucks.
like that. Kind of sucks.
You
I would
know?
say stuff like that to an extent has its place, but like when you realize that they're remaking legit stuff that just came out a couple years ago, like Moana, and they want
What? They're remaking it?
Dwayne Johnson made the whole trailer saying that his kids wanted Moana, and like saying
Live
that
action.
live action, and basically no, I'm just saying this. If Disney is putting and basically giving away money like this, and they know they're not gonna
Why
get
don't
it
they
back,
ask the audience?
I'm just saying there's so many room for okay, what about Tangled 2? What about fucking Tinkerbell movie. You know what? I'm just saying there's so much room for growth, and y'all are just like deciding to give up money on like stuff like Peter Pan on Disney Plus that nobody's gonna watch.
Mm.
And I'm sorry, like just to be completely honest, if we had it our way, we would just have Phase 5, like watch all the the Marvel Loki stuff, like the stuff with Captain Marvel if it's tolerable, and maybe enjoy like the Spider-Man movies that are gonna come out in a couple years, hopefully. Deadpool is something to look forward to. Fantastic Four, couple years as well. But that's about it. Like the rest of the stuff that we don't really want to watch, like Echo. We don't. Maybe
Echo?
like that. That might.
What's that?
Echo's the girl that was basically deaf and like I think lost one arm or one leg. I don't know. Like basically, like the one from She-Hulk show. Oh no, not the She-Hulk show. I think no Hawkeye, the Hawkeye show. Remember?
I have no idea.
Okay. She was deaf. Basically, like they were shooting arrows around her and he
Oh,
killed,
I know what you're
like,
talking about.
killed her father.
Yeah, so they're making a show about her.
Yeah, and I'm saying fair enough, but I'm just saying pick characters. Like, okay, for example, they did Cloak and Dagger on Disney at one point.
I heard it sucked.
It sucked, but at least they took a risk, and I wouldn't mind taking another risk on it again.
No, I feel like instead of saying you guys they don't want to take a risk. They don't have to. They can ask the audience. Just ask the audience. They'll answer for you. Whichever one gets the most like re-asked, just take that one.
Yeah, it's not like we're asking to create the story, the plot. Y'all can
Do
do
it.
whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm like just fuck.
No. Like at this point, Disney and like Warner Brothers is like running out of ideas. Might as well listen to your audience that pays for the stuff you watch. Like pays for the entertainment, and it's not too much to ask for. Yes, like okay, like do as many movies as you need. Grow your universes, grow your pockets. Like okay, I'll watch Secret Wars. I'll do all this stuff to get there. Just so I could, enjoy, like this franchise that you guys built, but have some layers to it, have some depth, have some characters that I will grow attached to if they leave us, Because when I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I felt sad. I felt genuinely sad when all the characters.
It was like they retired. Like fuck,
and
bro.
I don't honestly feel like I'm gonna feel that for like some characters like Miss Marvel or like.
I don't. We didn't even know about him.
Exactly, we didn't even get enough chance to get attached to them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm just saying, like if just going a long way, just pick certain characters, give them a film. It doesn't have to be a long one. Werewolf by Night was a good example of having a short film that was impactful, and Black and White, which was like a different stylistic choice, but was good. I'm just saying having unique qualities, unique characters, and giving us stuff like that would reel in your audience and give more drive just so we could like enjoy your movies and just enjoy your products.
Yeah, bro. Like I feel like they could learn from like DC's like animated movies and shit. They're so fucking great.
No, yeah, that's what's crazy. They've managed to have like a whole DC universe in animated form and reboot it twice.
Amazing, bro. Like
it's
like the universes, like they have multiple universes, like the Flashpoint. They had so many. How many Flashpoint movies did they have?
Like that.
It's just
they
so
had like
amazing,
they
bro.
had
like
so many, like World War II Flashpoint.
Like that's what they're trying to recreate in real life. Like like everyone that hasn't seen any of the animated films on HBO Max or it's called Max now, whatever. Like you gotta watch all the DC animated films. They're fucking amazing. You gotta watch Young Justice. Go to Netflix, watch Gotham. I'm just saying, these universes are so amazing, and they can't do it on the big screen. I feel like these shows are so underrated in the way that they get views, but they don't get as much as the movies,
or don't get talked about.
And it
enough.
makes no sense to me when they could be so much. Like they could be.
Crazy
they could be popping more.
These animated films are like sometimes way better than even a live action could, because it just shows so much detail, so much character development, and so much just so much growth that you can't even fucking show. Like the one that we just watched was Supergirl, and basically Brainiac and developing all these generations, the future generations of himself, and exploding, just because he couldn't handle like how he.
Which one was superior? Yeah.
Yeah, that was something crazy, and we would love to see on the big screen. Just crazy imaginative stuff that you could tell.
Or I feel like they like Creed. They brought some anime like inspiration into the movie. Like they could do kind of that shit too.
No. If done well. At the
Yeah,
same
no,
time,
no,
at some
no.
points it got cheesy with the cage cell match.
No, wait,
With the-
what? I felt
Remember,
like
they had like a little cell thing, like they were in jail.
no, yeah, no, but I feel like they could do it with these Marvel Cinematic Universes. They could do the explosions. They could do the whole like scenes, the fighting scenes like it too. Like they could get more into the fighting scenes instead of you guys. Okay, you guys don't want as much story because you guys can afford it. We'll make a bigger action scene. Make it more instead of making an actual longer action scene. Just make the fights look better, interesting. Slow some parts down.
Or
You
if
know,
you
they don't make it look so much better where they could.
or
I
on
just feel like they make it so much quick when they don't have to.
or on top of that, just don't risk high budget. Make short budget films. Make short budget films, and I guarantee everybody would watch those.
Yeah,
Just
and then
like
if they're failures, there weren't that much of a budget, so you guys could
ah,
cry about it. I feel like when they cry about these movies that they lose so much money, is like
it's
you
'cause
guys
they
invested
invest,
so
yeah.
much.
Like Shazam 2. Like
I heard it was a failure.
yeah,
Like
it
we
was.
couldn't stand watching the first. Like we didn't finish
And
watching
it's
it.
not that we didn't like try to like it. We
It was just annoying.
yeah, it was just annoying. Like, and I get it. Like half of this stuff would be cool if the way that you were introduced to it was the way that you wanted to be introduced to it. I loved the first Shazam movie because it was fun, entertaining, and like had like a bunch of like like just awesome scenes, just stuff that you wanted to see a kid like getting superpowers and fucking around with it. But for the second film, you wanted to see Black Adam versus Shazam. And I get that maybe that wasn't supposed to happen, but regardless, you get at least
Question. I'm sorry.
you get at least
Did Aquaman 2 come out already?
yes. I think
It
it's
was
coming.
that.
Oh no, I
Oh.
think it's coming out actually. I'm gonna look it up.
No, because if it did come out, it was that bad that nobody talked about it, or what? Because I heard it wasn't even about like Aquaman. I heard it was about just like the ocean and shit. Like I don't know. I heard it was like about saving the ocean. You know what I mean? Like from
Like
pollution or
Avatar
shit like
kinda.
that. Yeah, no, I don't know.
But yeah, I get what you mean.
Like yeah,
But
Well-
seriously, like characters like that, like how do you turn like a character that everybody was hyped about? Jason Momoa Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and
bro, he was so much better in the Scene show.
yeah,
So it's like, if you guys haven't seen what's called C,
see,
yeah,
Oh,
on Apple TV, it's fucking amazing. Jason Momoa, it's a whole universe where everyone's blind.
yeah,
It's fucking crazy, like the way they fight and live because everyone's blind. It's just cool.
yeah.
You guys gotta check it out. Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking good shows on Apple TV, bro.
Okay, but like
Okay, but says that. Go.
okay,
Where
no,
you
no,
at?
I'm not gonna say shit. I was gonna say shit. I was gonna say so again, like how I'm suggesting, okay, after Secret Wars, maybe interject, like some ideas like, okay, maybe there is another multiverse besides ours. Okay? If we were to start off from there. And like, okay, the whole DCEU phase 1, like Gods and Monsters is set up. Swamp Thing, all that thing. Like basically, where would you go from there? It starts like they somehow made each other all like, okay, we found a portal. This portal is not from ours, and we've sensed other energy from this universe that's different from ours. How would you handle it? What characters would introduce what? How would you want
You
this?
got me lost.
Excuse me. Then okay, then the best way that I could explain it to you is if we were to start a universe where like Marvel and DC would share one, or like at least have a couple crossovers. What would you like to be the starting point? How would you like to be the meetup? Because Avengers: Infinity War Endgame started from like Avengers. Like
I
just
would
getting the,
like it to happen.
the gems. Yeah.
Uh,
Like what would be the build up towards? Like what would you like to see? Bring this is how
can I do it? Can I say?
Okay,
I
yeah, you
would
first.
I would want like the story from Mr. The Flash, the Flash where they had it on the CW, where the books they were using the books to change the whole world and shit like that. Like they were actually changing like the like they were.
Could you give like more?
Okay. So basically, I don't know where everyone from the Marvels and DC universe are they're just living together from one day to the next. And fucking the characters, some of them are completely don't exist, and some of them are just have memories of both lives because they're the same person in both lives. and they have both powers and both memories and shit. It's just everyone's like just weird about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to fucking fix it, so they team up like they were supposed to, and they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I do know you from this universe, but like it's strange, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like from this other universe, you're a villain or this and that."
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And fucking this Batman, fucking is like, I remember I could see, now I'm fucking blind, but I have echolocation. You know, he has Daredevil's powers and shit like that. You know, you just Miles Morales' son, he used to have, he could shock people, but now he could control the electricity and move metal and shit. You know,
Mm.
shit like that. They
I
just
feel that would be too crazy.
exactly, but people were like,
Yeah, what the fuck?
what the fuck? Let's go watch it. And that could be like a fucking 3-parter movie just on itself.
Okay. Mind if I tell you how I would want it? I want it like one of two ways. I would want it either an invasion from somebody smart, like
No.
like Brainiac or somebody from the Marvel universe,
Mhm.
or like I just saw Justice League, like the cartoon show, and they had an episode where the Flash ended up vibrating so quick he ended up going to another universe where, essentially, you know how like in the Flash TV show they mentioned Spider-Man being a movie, Spider-Man 2. They were like,
Mhm.
oh, like Spider-Man 2, that scene with the train scene.
Mhm.
Essentially, I would like something like that to go down. Like, okay, so you know how like Kevin Bacon in that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 film or whatever, or like the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, they didn't mention Batman being a thing.
Mhm.
What if they're just aware of each other already? What if they just like know of each other's existence, but they just don't think that they're fiction? So Barry, one day, like vibrates so quick in front of everybody, just trying to save himself, and it ends up vibrating maybe Superman and Batman with him, and they ended up going to this New York that is so dystopian and looks so different from their Gotham or their Metropolis, where
Mhm.
and they're all like, okay, so where's Justice League? So they go to the Avengers, and basically they're all like, what are you doing in my like Wayne Towers, for example? Just so many stories could be told like that.
Mhm.
Or what happened to their version of Quicksilver? Like,
Mhm.
I'm the speedster of this universe, and I don't know if you know, but remember they had like a little comic where in the 80s or 90s where the Flash died. He ended up going so quick because he ended up saving somebody. Crisis on Infinite Earths. You know that one?
Mhm. No.
And okay, like basically there was two versions of Earth 1 and Earth 2, like the Silver Age and the Golden Age or whatever. Basically they wanted to separate the characters like Jay Garrick and the classic Flash that we know and love, the Barry Allen,
Mhm.
Wally West, and then separate them and like just basically know that there's two different distinct versions. At one point they wanted to destroy them and basically like have like one universe just so they don't have like a so they don't have a difference. They basically wanted to distinct it to just one universe so it's not confusing. So they ended up basically killing Barry Allen for like a short period of time, like a couple years, and ended up introducing Wally. But during that period, they ended up introducing a really quick speedster that ended up being quicker than Quicksilver himself for the Marvel universe. Somebody like Alan Barry or something like that. Something that was like similar to Barry Allen, but legally couldn't be. And he had tattered clothes of Barry Allen, like the Flash suit.
Mhm.
And basically, by the end of the story, he ended up traveling back to that, world. Now, what if something similar happened to that? They got amnesia, and for one reason or another, Flash ends up being some other character, Quicksilver too, or you know what I'm saying? Not Quicksilver, but he ends up thinking he's Quicksilver, or Batman ends up thinking he's Daredevil. You know what I'm saying? Like just some form of amnesia where they think, okay, I'm this superhero, but
That's kind of like what I just said though.
no, no,
Like
similarly, but I'm just saying, cause like they're
Mhm.
already aware.
Also, I was thinking because I keep on seeing Rick from the statue, the Funko Pop
Yeah.
behind you. I keep imagining, what if this motherfucker just popped up to with the portal, goes to universe, Marvel universe. Like, I need you guys, picks out 3 of them. Goes to DC universe, I need 3 of you, and then goes to
Like the Watcher.
yeah, he does that shit. That would be so badass, you know.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we need to stop this fucking god level threat. Like, from my universe, they're actual, like they can control the universe,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
and shit like that. They're like, fuck.
Oh yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
just
I
no,
just
not that. We're just trying to like storm like all this like brainstorming is just proving our point. There's so many stories that could be told, and
No, yeah,
and maybe
that's-
like some of them are shit, but like at least a couple nuggets of gold come out of every once in a while, you know?
no. I just feel like the best way to get this, or the best way they could, like we've been just saying this over and over again, is just you guys or the company just talk to the fans and just ask and have fucking polls, like actual like debate polls, and they're like, oh, this is better, this is better, and they have them the companies film writing their own stories for them, not exactly, but they're like, oh, we want this, and they get all of that. They're like, okay, we have all what they want, we just make it happen in a good story.
Yeah,
Just-
or at
and it's
least
so much easier for them instead of they having to come up with fresh new ideas. Like, we already have what they want. We like the ideas are there. We just gotta make it work.
yeah, or at least like be open to like sharing stuff, you know, like being open to like I know at one point that they ended up sharing I think a similar set, like a Marvel and DC shared like a set just so they could film a couple extra scenes for like a Snyder cut or whatever.
So be badass, but no.
But exactly, just be like open minded, like yeah, fuck, you know like I'm not trying to say fuck the investors, but come on, like,
Fuck the
like just fuck
the rivalry. You know.
yeah, like fuck the rivalry. Just saying like
Let's make money. Let's get what the fans
no,
want.
yeah, give what the fans want, make money that way. Like what's so wrong about like giving us like the fans what we want, comic stuff.
Yeah.
We're nerds. Yeah, we're geeks, and we're all like just. We're honestly, I just feel like we're fed up with getting the same film over and over again. Because I know if I watch Ironheart, I'm gonna see a girl struggle for like a minute or so, like half an hour, being like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to talk to Wakanda anymore because they don't have my back, I guess, because they're busy dealing with whatever happened last. And now I'm gonna have to make my own Iron Armor, even though we probably wanted to see that guy with a freaking potato gun be Iron Man.
Mhm.
Yeah, y'all remember him?
Yeah.
He was at that funeral and fucking
before
Endgame.
before you start screaming at the mic, let's just call it a day.
Okay.
All right then.
Bro, that fucking potato kid.
All right. Well, I never thought I was gonna say this, but we need subscribers. Can you guys please like, subscribe,
Nah,
and
none
comment?
of that pussy shit. None of that pussy.
Just for this episode, cause we need them bad.
We're
Okay?
desperate
Thank you.
for the viewership.
Yeah, and share, please.
Bye.
Bye.